Hello and welcome to Strategic Solutions. Thank you for joining us. Today is about what happens when the employee can't get you the medical certificate. So the scenario goes like this. The employer has been asking the member of the staff to give us information about if they're temporarily totally disabled or how long they will be needing leave for or how long they'll need the accommodation for. But they're telling us the doctor can't give us any information about these accommodations because she's too recently in a car crash and they really just don't know how long she's going to take to recover or what kind of help she needs to be able to do her job while she recovers. They've asked her for the doctor's information several times, and they've asked how they can make the accommodation request clearer, and they're not having any luck. So everybody, the ADA is a benefit. That means the employee has to qualify for the benefit. In order to qualify for a benefit under the American with Disabilities Act, you have to have a disability first that impacts your major life activities in a significant way. And depending on your state, it might be significant or somewhat significant. But the point is that it's impacting your ability to perform the functions of your job. So the question is, okay, how can we help you? How can we help you perform the essential functions of your job? How can we understand how your disability impacts your ability to perform the essential functions of your job? Because what we need to do from human resources is we need to identify that you're a qualified individual with a disability. And that starts with, are you qualified? Do you have a disability that you can then perform the essential functions of the job for at a meets expectation level? Well, if you can't tell us what accommodations you need, or you can't tell us how you can perform the functions of your job with those accommodations, how can we accommodate you? Or pardon me, with those restrictions, sorry, then how can we accommodate you? So what do I explain to the employee? And I only give them 2 weeks to do this, folks. I let them know that it's their responsibility 100% to get me medical information, confirming they have a qualifying disability, and they are able to tell me how they can perform their job functions, meaning tell me when you can be working and getting your job done, all of it, all the essential functions, unless you're pregnant, that's a different caveat, but all the essential functions at a meets expectations level, meaning you're really performing all the functions of the job to get the job done, even if you were a star performer before. So when an employee says they can't tell us when they can give us that medical certificate, that would be similar to asking for unpredictable, unreliable attendance. And we don't accommodate unpredictable, unreliable attendance. What we do is give them a deadline. And maybe we give them a couple of extra chances to meet that deadline. But not much time, everybody. We're talking about days and weeks. And we've got a pretty clear system to help you do that. But in any case, whatever way you are implementing this regulation, there's a deadline to get us documentation. The employee is solely responsible at all times for providing that documentation. I'd be happy to talk to the employee with their doctor and explain to the doctor why we need them to give us some data so we can determine if we can accommodate this person, even with temporary leave, to get to a point of understanding a return to work date with accommodation, or that you need 7 more months of leave, because we're probably not going to accommodate 7 more months of leave. That would be unreasonable and an undue hardship in most instances. So let's make sure we really understand the nuances of what is reasonable and unreasonable. Unpredictable, unreliable attendance doesn't matter. Why? Because the doctor can't answer it, doesn't matter, is not reasonable. And it's an undue hardship in most cases, unless you've got a ton of people to always step in and take over the job temporarily, or a reasonable amount of people to step in and take the job. So we really help the employee understand it's their responsibility. And if they can't get their doctor to answer the question, how does your disability impact your ability to perform those essential functions, then we can't accommodate you. And we take as much time as we need to. We like to use our Venn diagram, Maddie, because FMLA, if they're eligible, gives them 3 months of leave. And if they're asking for more, well, they've been gone a quarter of the year already. This is getting unreasonable because we need somebody to perform that job, or we can't take care of our clients, our customers, our patients, our vendors, etc. So I hope this helps you understand that American with Disabilities Act gives you quite a bit of control. And what's the control for? The control is to make sure you've got a person in the job performing it at a meets expectations level, with or without a disability, because they can get the job done. AFMLA is a leave regulation, everybody. ADA is a work regulation. If you're asking for leave, even to get a medical certificate that's taking too long, we don't have to give you extended leave. We're going to give you a finite period of time to get that document to us. And if you can't get it to us, we're looking at something very different than an ADA accommodation. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.